So you want to talk about refugees? Well, listen up. The first thing you should know is that not everyone who flees their home is considered a refugee. The more appropriate term to use would be displaced person or people. This is the umbrella phase in which a refugee falls under. Got it? Great. Moving on. There are two types of displaced people fleeing to the United States: refugees and asylum seekers. The largest difference between the two is that a refugee waits in a refugee camp for U.S. permission, while an asylum seeker is one that comes directly to the United States on their own means and asks for permission later. I should just mention really quick that there is a third type of displaced people. They are known as internally displaced because they are forced to flee their homes, but they have to stay within their home countries for various reasons. So how do refugees and asylum seekers come and or stay in the United States legally? Well, for a refugee to begin the United States Refugee Admissions Program, they must receive a referral. Then they will have assistance filling out an application, and then be interviewed by a United States Customs and Immigration officer. For asylum seekers, they must apply within 1 year of arriving to the United States for asylum status. In Orange County, California, after asylum seekers apply, they must then attend a court hearing and testify before a judge. Sounds pretty easy, right? Unfortunately, with over 60 million refugees in the world, there's a long wait list to get into the United States. It takes a refugee family an average of 17 years to complete the process. As for asylum seekers, if they do not meet the United States' strict criteria for refugees, or if they have an unsympathetic judge, they will be immediately deported back to their country. But what about the refugee or asylee that jumps through all the bureaucratic hoops successfully? Once a refugee arrives in the United States, the federal government provides both refugees and asylees with identical services. First, a social security card and work permit. Second, a welcome check that can pay for first month's rent and a housing deposit. Third, a medical examination. And lastly, the Refugee Cash Assistance Program, or the RCA. In Orange County, California, a single displaced person enrolled in the RCA receives about $300 a month and food stamps. Married displaced couples receive about $500 a month and food stamps. But children change everything. In California, if there is a displaced family with kids, then the family does not enroll in RCA. Instead, they are put on a welfare program called CalWorks. The average family of 6 receives about $900 a month, and yes, you probably guessed it, food stamps. The federal government also funds resettlement agencies. These agencies assign each displaced person or family a caseworker. A caseworker assists in areas of finding housing, attending medical visits, enrolling in English classes, and filling out paperwork. Pretty solid system, right? Wrong. Sadly, refugees can only enroll in RCA for 8 months and are assigned a caseworker for merely 90 days. On top of that, there are only 2 refugees resettlement agencies in Orange County, both understaffed with burned-out caseworkers. So federal aid for refugees have an expiration date. What comes next? That is where nonprofit organizations step in. They continue to give aid to adjusting refugees. To learn more about the work of nonprofits in Orange County, California, click here.
Created using Powtoon.